Warriors were just awesome tonight, and I don't think anyone was really doubting that they would win, but they did. You know, they won by a final score of 129-98 against Cleveland, just absolutely destroying them, right? And we saw great performances by their starting lineup. Everyone on their starting lineup played well, and I'd argue everyone on the bench played well too. The leading scorer was Stephen Curry, 36 points, and it felt like he wasn't missing anything out there tonight. He was on fire, and I think the Warriors are starting to gel a lot more than they were. Towards the beginning of the year, we saw them, you know, they would play these games and they'd lose because they weren't sharing the ball, and they weren't being kind of mindful that, you know, that there's other guys on the court. And part of it is that they're a small ball team. The small ball teams shoot a lot more threes. That's the bottom line. And they did shoot a lot more threes towards the beginning of the year, and they weren't going in. However, this year they're being a lot more vigilant and, you know, looking for the open man. As, you know, guys like Draymond Green, 16 assists. The last 3 games, he has had double-digit assists, and he is up there in the leaderboard for the most assists in the NBA. Stephen Curry had 36 points, like I said, and the second most points by a Warriors player was 15 by Wiggins. And honestly, everyone, like I said, including the bench, played well. Michael Mulder, of all people, had 12 points coming out the bench despite only playing 17 minutes. Brad Wanamaker had 7, 14 from Pascal, 5 from Lee, 7 from Bazemore. All those guys were on the bench. As for the starting lineup, 14 by Oubre, 36 by Curry, like I said, 6 by Green, but we have to remember he had 16 assists and 8 rebounds, 13 by Toscano Anderson, and he shared the ball a lot well, and 15 by Wiggins. Now, that was just incredible. You know, if we can have games like this where everyone they're working as a unit instead of individuals kind of just shooting the ball and missing and having these low percentage shots, we are going to win more games. Now, this is the Cleveland Cavs, who are, you know, not a good team to say the least. However, I am still very satisfied with the way they played. The Cavs, well, I guess for the stats, the Warriors shot pretty well. Free throw percentage, I think, was a big factor in this. They got to the line 21 times and only missed 1 free throw, so 95% pretty much. And 45% three-point shooting, which isn't ideal, but is still pretty good. 52% field goal percentage, and yeah, they had 14 turnovers, but I think that's one issue that's going to take a little while to resolve. They've had a lot of turnovers lately, and I think it's just something they got to work on. However, they had a lot of points in the paint. They had 10 blocks opposed to the Cavs 3. The Warriors defense has been stepping up a lot. I think they're a great defensive team despite being a small ball team, like I mentioned. They're rebounding well. I mean, I think it's just, you know, assists. We had 15 more assists than Cleveland, 34-19. So that's incredible. I guess with all due respect to the Cavs, we'll talk a little bit about their stats. Colin Sexton was their leading scorer. He's having a pretty good year. He had 23 points tonight. Shetty Osman, I don't really exactly know how to pronounce it. He had 17 points. And Jared Allen had 13, 16 for Garland. They didn't play that bad. I mean, it was more towards the end that the Warriors caught up with some steam. But I mean, it was kind of close, like up until like halftime. I just feel like when the Warriors play in like the second and third quarters, they play a lot better. The Cavs had 14 points in the fourth quarter. That is very low and just goes to show how good of an defense the Warriors have. And they outscored them by 10 in the second quarter and by 7 in the third and by 14 in the fourth. So after they tied in the first, they were tied at the end of the first quarter, and just from there, it was all Warriors. So the Warriors moved to 15-13 now. Really good win, dominating win. I'm really happy that they won this because, you know, they've had some rough games lately, honestly. So good game for them. 15-13. They're trying to get up there in the standings, and that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you.